Yeah, roll up the green, hit the links with RGB. Pitch, putt, and puff, it's our podcast scene. Talking Burton bogeys, holding one dream. Golf cart cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front. Tee off in the noon, cause we don't bunt. Discussing the course, weed strains for lunch. Straight shooters on the greens, not a front. Pitch, put and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Smoking aces, laces tied tight. With a puff we fly, elevate the night. Golf ball soaring, higher than a kite. Fairway to heaven, shining real bright. Pitch, foot and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff.
Welcome back to another episode of the Pitch, Putt, and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in here this evening. Before we get cooking with our guest, though, we're going to take a quick second and give a shout out to a few sponsors, starting off with Mulligan Wear. Make sure you guys go check out Mulligan Wear. Always coming out with some fresh new lineup, polos, hats, hoodies, you name it, he's got it over there. Mulligan Wear _ on Instagram. Click the link in the bio. We'll take you right to the site, and you can purchase one of those fine items, a hat, a polo. Just dropped the new line of polos and also has some hoodies here for the cold weather coming up sooner than we'd like here in upstate New York. But Mulligan Wear _ click the link in the bio. Use promo code PUFF10 to save yourself 10% at checkout. Mulligan Wear _ on Instagram. Also, we got the guys over at Back 9 Botanicals. Make sure you guys check them out. Back9botanicals.com. Use promo code TPUFF10 to save you 10% at checkout on some of the best CBD in the world. We got the Moonlight Mulligan, the Birdie Boost, the Tea Time Sunrise. They also got the Muscle and Joint rub. They have the drinks, the THC shooters. They got the passion fruit, the strawberry, the orange. So go get your hands on those at back9botanicals.com. Use promo code TPUFF10. TPUFF10 will save you 10% at checkout. And then we got Athletic, ATHLETHC.com. Make sure you guys go over there, check them out. The 2 milligram mints, the power, flow, and rebound, something to get you through every point of your day. Go over there, check them out. I highly recommend the variety pack where you can find the one that best suits you. While you're over there, make sure you use promo code PUFF for a special discount. We'll take care of you here. Save you guys a couple bucks over at Athletic, ATHLETHC.com. And then last but not least, my guy Marty, Trouble Off the Tee. TroubleOffTheTee.com. Use promo code PUFF20 to save yourself 20% off on his fresh line of hats, new line of hats to go along with the second book that he's working on currently. Trouble Off the Tee. He's got Never Lay Up, I'll Go Alone, Camel Chasing, Scratch Golfer, Golf of America, and soon going to drop some more here shortly. But make sure you guys, when you're at Trouble Off the Tee, you go take a listen to the audiobook, TroubleOffTheTee.com. You can listen to the audiobook on Spotify and Audible. And then make sure you use promo code PUFF20 to save yourself 20% at checkout. So tonight we're going to stay in the cannabis world here in the Pitch, Putt, and Puff. We're going to talk some flower beverages, some cannabis THC infused beverages. So we're going to drink flower bev is who we're going to be talking to. So we're going to take a quick break and we will get into it with the boys. And we're back here on the Pitch, Putt, and Puff. Joining me today, we have John and Ben from Drink Flower Bev. Guys, really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Love being here, man. Thanks so much.
Awesome. So starting off, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you started getting into the beverage industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So THC beverage is kind of a newer thing for us that we started working on last year, but our beverage, kind of genesis and journey really stretches back to about 2013. So got a homebrew kit the same way a lot of breweries, cideries, wineries start. We made some absolutely terrible swill in the backyard, kept working the recipes, figured out how to make something drinkable, invited all the buddies over to the house, got the sign off, the flavors were right. So as soon as we actually had a recipe developed, which became our flagship cider called Off Main Cider, we started off of Main Street. Obviously, we're very creative. As soon as we kind of developed that flavor profile, Ben and I had a background in real estate. We're like, all right, let's go find some real estate. Let's start this thing up commercial basis. So really did all the recipes, kind of trial batches, backyard brewing, like 2013 timeframe, early 2014. And then once we solidified everything, really at the beginning of 2014, went out, signed a lease, and got started our first fermentation commercial batches in May of 2014 and sold our first pint June 20th of 2014.
Nice.
So since that time, we've been making hard cider the entire time, and then really kind of morphed our company over the last 12 months into more of a full spectrum beverage company. So in addition to our own cider beverage, which again, we've had for over a decade, we also launched a THC beverage called Flowers, which we're here tonight to talk about. We also have another brand called Magnolia, which is hard tea and hard lemonade. And then we also do a lot of co-packing as part of our business as well. So we work with a variety of other clients making, sodas, wines, RTDs, like ready to drink cocktails, pretty much the full spectrum. So we are fully permitted as a distilled spirits DSP. We have a DSP in our property. So if somebody wants to make RTDs, we can do that. They want to do ciders, wines, whatever, we can pretty much do anything. So that's really kind of how we've morphed over the last little bit, but really our legacy in the beverage goes back over a decade. And the name, our Bull City Cider Works, our kind of flagship brand that we started with, we started right downtown Durham, North Carolina, which is, nicknamed the Bull City. Maybe you've seen the movie Bull Durham. So we were right there, right off Elizabeth Street, right off of Main Street in Durham, North Carolina, which is where Ben's originally from.
Okay. Yeah. Great movie. Great movie, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, best movie.
That movie's so good. I love that movie. That's awesome. So what really inspired you guys, since you had the alcohol thing going? What inspired you to go the cannabis route?
Yeah, I think, part of it, and Ben, you obviously hop in here as well, but, I think we started seeing a lot of shift in the market in terms of visits to the tap room and kind of the changing demographic. And so I think when you look at tap rooms, whether you're looking at breweries or wineries or whatever, cideries in our case, you always have the population, the demographic of 20 to 30 years old. They're young, they're working, they're going out during the week, they're going out hard on the weekend, and as they age up a little bit, things change, right? You have more responsibility at work. You may have family. You may still pop in for a drink here or there, somebody's birthday or graduation or rehearsal party or something, but you're probably not going out on Tuesday night like you did as a knucklehead age 22. You're definitely not going out 3 or 4 times a week, but it didn't matter because you always had your next generation, your next wave of 20, 30-year-old knuckleheads that are okay going to work hungover on Wednesday or Thursday.
Right.
So kind of seeing some of those changes in the market, we saw that this younger generation, Gen Z, well, they weren't going out at all. So you stop backfilling. Once we kind of aged into our 30s, going into 40s, you didn't have this backfill of young 20, 30-year-olds coming back to the market. So we really started doing a lot of research, and I'd say Ben really spearheaded a lot of that, where we were like, man, this doesn't make any sense because every generation likes to go out, right? They like to be with their friends. They like to go out in an environment, whether they're in college, they're not in college, just out of college. They like to go out, have fun, hang out. We're like, what is happening and where are the dollars going? And the more we kind of peeled the onion on it, it really was evident to us. It's like, okay, people still want to recreate, people still want to chill, they want to relax, but they are not into alcohol.
Right.
They are not into, whether you enjoy alcohol or not, it is chemically, obviously, poison for your body. Now, it's a fun poison for some people, and we had a lot of good stories and good times. But the younger generation is very health-centric, very health-focused, adaptogen. What is clean energy? They don't want to be over-caffeinated. They don't want to be alcohol in their body. They want clean systems, clean living. So really, last year we saw, okay, well, this is the first time in history that daily use of cannabis has actually surpassed daily use of alcohol. And with that kind of in our mindset and kind of understanding this is where we're going to operate, we realize like, okay, if we're going to continue to be successful in the beverage industry or continue to be successful in our entrepreneurial endeavors, we've got to change with some of the change of the demographic. We're no longer cool, man. I mean, we're approaching our mid 40s. We're not early 20s. We're not early 30s. And so we understood like We've always
I think
understood when we
I think
started.
the kids call that unk status now. We're unk
Yeah,
status.
we're,
Yeah,
we're,
we're
we're
on,
totally
man.
on status,
You
man.
got to listen to the consumers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's not just the young kids too. It's really everybody's transitioning over into cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
Takes craft beer 35 years to peak out in 2019 with over $7 billion of gross annual revenue. But between 2020 and 2024, it only took 4 years for gummies, just gummies, not vapes, flour, or anything else, for gummies to surpass the entire craft beverage
Mm-hmm.
gross.
Yeah.
It's just the quickness that it occurred, the changes that have occurred from COVID were
Right.
rapid changes, rapid dynamics of changing downtown settings with offices kind of being displaced, people being able to do more at
Mm-hmm.
home and be really satisfied and super happy with those lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
And some of
And
them still
everything's
carry through today. People love
yeah.
working from home. You would prefer more of a hybrid schedule than going into the office schedule. So you just really have to watch the consumer. They're always choosing. We especially with beverage, we're drinking 4 or 5 or 10 things a day, whether it's water, Gatorade, tea, lemonades. We're
Yep.
always choosing. So they're always giving you feedback and data. You have to be willing to listen to it. And right now, there's a real movement to try to get away from some calories, to
Yeah.
try to get away from an overload of sugars. And some of those things can, be right with alcohol, and especially some of the big beers that we used to like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely. I mean, man, look at like IPAs and kind of how that dominated craft beer, right? And people going in and drinking 4 or 5, 6 of these things. Man, these craft IPAs, I mean, you're cranking 200 to 300 calories per pint, right?
Yep.
Every
And
time,
like
every
our
time.
our beverage that we develop, the flowers, I mean, we're only running less than 50 calories on these. So not that you're going to necessarily drink 610 milligram flowers, but even if you did, from a caloric intake, it's the same as drinking one of these IPAs that we used to crush back in the day, right?
Right.
So there's definitely a lot of change, a lot of, and to Ben's point, really just the ingestible side of THC grew so fast in that 5 year period where, just the ingestibles were 7.2 billion, which like Ben saying, 50 years of craft beer to get the 7.2 billion. We saw information today that was breaking down even further saying, okay, just the drink side of ingestibles in 2023 was running about 237 million. It's projected to be a billion this year already. And the long-term projection forecast is a $30 billion drink-only THC market by 2035.
So in 10 years.
In
10
10
years.
years, it is expected to
Holy
be
shit.
5 times the size of the peak level that craft beer ever achieved. And the cannabis
Wow.
market overall is going to be a $46 billion market just this year, right? So, I mean, these numbers are just staggering. I wish I could claim that we were so smart. We knew this even earlier, but it was
Right.
like, we started studying the demographics and what was changing as fast as we could. And now I think we're a reasonable player here in the Southeast and continuing to look to grow.
Absolutely. We got to figure out how to get you guys up here in the Northeast and the New York market. I think I have we'll talk after, but I think I got an idea.
I love it. Let's go.
Can't wait.
I got an in that I think we can roll with. It's just working out some details, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, I think like you guys are saying though, like we said earlier before we record, and just looking at going to the bars. Like Ben, did you have like an aha moment at one point where you were out at a bar or something? You're looking around and the youngest person in there is basically in the mid 30s, early 40s, and there's none of that young demographic that goes to the bars, goes for that nightlife. Did you say like, what are those people doing, and that's kind of how you started your research that way, or how did it work for you?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We started wondering where is everybody? I think that's really a good way to put it. We've been operating tap rooms for over a decade, and we've had some really, really successful tap rooms. And we've got some really great beverages that we serve at them, which is why they're really so popular, and we're really blessed. And then so when we started looking around and saying, well, we're doing a lot of the same things, and we're investing in events, we're investing in new product releases and things like that, but we're not seeing the turnout that we used to. You really start wondering what's happening. And then you really start to look internally, and you start to wonder, man, can we do things better? What are we doing wrong? And then you start asking, people in your beer groups and how are you guys doing? And then you really start getting the feedback, and you start understanding that there's a shift happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really through the network of your Brewer Alliance friends and things that it just really becomes evident that, hey, we're all in the same boat, maybe even more than we realized we were.
Right.
And so really the THC's been coming on so strong. It has such a intense pull from East Coast suppliers, West Coast suppliers, that for us to actually even produce the amount that our co-packing clients would like us to make, we have to use some of our beer friends,
Yep.
some of our brewer friends to help us along the way and actually produce the quantity and volume that's needed, because there is that much of a demand.
That's fine.
Yeah, so it's really just listening, man. You just got to talk to your people. You got to have your alliances. You got to know your people in the industry, people you can trust, and then, man, like where is everybody? And
Yeah.
then you start figuring it out. And then you want them, because we do, as brewers, we invest a lot into our businesses, not just on the production side, but also in the tap room side. And it's really important to us that those things are thriving as well. So, you want to be a community hub. You want people to want to come to you. You want people to come there and talk about the day, talk about what's happening, talk about the new development that's happening in town,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is. So when you want to be great, you want to find the people to get into your store. So we went and found them, and we found that their likes had changed a little bit. And some of I think John kind of was mentioning this a little bit. It really was kind of like our age group that took craft to its peak. Like, we're chasing IPAs, we're chasing beer, we're chasing cider.
It was
People would
wild.
text us on the phone,
Oh,
hey
yeah.
man, there's this new milkshake IPA out. The
My
new
friends used to drive
grapefruit.
2.5 hours to Massachusetts to Treehouse to
Yeah.
go get a 4-pack. I'm like,
To
bro,
get some
what?
Julius, right? And
Yeah,
then wait
yeah.
outside. And it's like, man, I mean, you go back
Exactly.
a decade ago, there are people spending the night outside waiting for one of our local breweries, Foothills, great homegrown North Carolina brewery, best IPA in the state, camping out to get a bottle of beer.
No.
I mean,
It was
that's
electric.
how much it changed, right? And Ben and I talked about it. I think part of it could have been as well was just like the age group that we grew up with. Part of our life we still remember as analog, not computers in your pocket, anything
Yep.
else. And it was like, man, you remember watching like MTV back in the day and Spring Break,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
We're going on
Oh,
location
wow.
with Spring Break, and there's
That shit
like
was
20,000
awesome.
people hanging out in the pool. You're like, this is like peak hangout, awesome vibe,
Yeah.
young, fun, and then the whole world changed,
Yep.
right?
That's it. Your
And as
parents knew where you were
demographic
because your
changes,
bike was in front of someone's house.
that's
That's
right.
how. Yeah. You knew
And
everybody's
now,
phone number. Yep.
and now it's like this entertainment, this vibe. It's like this constant dopamine of, can I one up what I've already seen on the internet? Did somebody Instagram better? Is there some other place I should be? Like, what's going on? And it's just so different, right? So the whole market changed a lot. But I think the other thing we paid attention to, so it's like obviously we had pretty good views on what was happening with numbers and kind of revenues happening in the tap room. From a supplier perspective, as a producer, we're getting emails nonstop over the last 3 years, 4 or 5 years, where it's like you saw some places going out of business, and then man, it just accelerated, right? I mean, it just hockey sticked right up. And
It's
then I'm
scary.
saying we probably hit points where it was like there was probably 3 damn brewery auctions happening a week, right?
Oh.
Some email coming out, somebody going out of business, more equipment on the market. So
Mm-hmm.
that was another thing that was really just eye-opening, where it's like, man, this market is changing. We got to figure out, what direction we're going and how we really reinvent ourselves on the fly, because we're not willing to go out. But you, like Ben said, you got to kind of change. We've always been of the opinion of whether we like it or not, you serve the customer what they want.
Yep. So let's get into the flower beverages. Let's hear what you guys have to offer. What kind of flavors? I know they're 10 milligrams THC. Now,
Yep.
how does it work? Because obviously with federal regulations and stuff. Now, how does it work for you guys to be able to ship throughout certain states you can't ship to? I'm assuming, or you can everywhere.
Yeah, so
Pretty
pretty
much
much
ship
all
everywhere. Yeah,
Okay.
you can almost ship everywhere. There's a few states that you can't, where they're a little bit more regulated, but almost every state. I mean, talking like above 40 states,
Okay.
you can ship.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really exciting.
So direct to
We can get it
consumer is
everywhere.
pretty viable everywhere. And then I think as you dig into state by state, kind of like you're saying up in New York, you guys have certain parameters already because you got a cannabis commission or some kind of agency that's overseeing things. They'll start regulating like, okay, you've got to have CBD in the product, or it can limit the milligrams per serving in a can or something like that. So that's just something to pay attention to as we look into different markets. But for us, we started with the 10 milligram because we felt that was kind of the middle ground between, going into your traditional cannabis shop, vape shop that might be offering something with 25, 50, 100 milligrams, and what a cannabis curious entry level individual or daily user throughout the day or something might be looking for, which is not just, hey, let me rock my head off with a 120 milligram drink, right? So that's why we started with the 10s, but we definitely will be releasing, 2.5s and 5s because we have to for certain markets, right? And certain markets also require some CBD in it as well. So we're capable of doing all that, and those are products that will be coming out. In fact, we're doing a 2.5 milligram for a co-pack this week. But we just kind of felt the middle ground was start with a 10.
And that's also, it's like a good way too. Like I notice, even in the cannabis industry, it's not just the young people. There's a lot of older folks who are here in New York with trying it. So they do the edibles. So like a drink is a good way for them to, like, I don't know, you don't have to drink the whole 10 milligrams. Maybe you take a couple sips of it or take a shot of it, even just to slow your way into getting to know the feeling and getting comfortable with it. Instead of going and doing a gravity bong rip or a bong rip or something, going to outer space and not getting the experience you're looking for. But introducing someone to cannabis in this way could be, you don't always have to smoke it. You can do the edibles. You can take the drinks now. Like there's a bunch of different ways for consumers to intake it. And some of the older generation where they don't want to smoke the drink might be the better route to go.
I think Ben was at a gathering that he came back from. It was kind of a bigger family gathering. Came back and said, I think one of the reasons people are interested in these beverages too, because, if you got a big party going on, full family, kids, everything there, well, people don't necessarily want to be like lighting a bowl, right? They want to be, lighting up a joint, a spliff, whatever. But this is, you can still get your THC, you still get your 5 or 10 milligrams, but it just looks like you got a soda, right?
Yep.
So I think there's an optics side of it as well that probably plays into it. And then I think on the older generation, you're right. There's this whole other aspect where it's like beyond recreational, and some also older generation choosing for recreational purposes, but probably have for years already. But I also think that there's like the push on the holistic pain relief, kind of wellness, anti-inflammatory properties that you get out of THC as well. That is very appealing to older individuals. Might sleep better, might just wake up feeling better.
Even like CBD. I have my mother. She thinks like weed's like heroin to her, know. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're talking about weed on the podcast and this and that. But now I finally convinced her she was sore her back or something. And I was like, Mom, try some CBD. She's like, is it gonna get me stoned? I go, Mom, no. This, like, I showed her, I rubbed it on my arm and everything. I was like, this stuff works great. So I bought her a little thing. Now she gets one at about once every 6 weeks. She's like, I need another one of those things, them CBD things. But she loves it. But now it's like even a comfort way with that. I'm like, Mom, why don't you just one night, I'll come over, we'll hang out, take a gummy. I just want to see what her reaction would be, to be honest with you, because she's
100%.
But
a lot of giggling.
Yeah. Like go give her a little 2 milligram mint or something and just sit with her and just like watch him like Happy Gilmore 2 and laugh away with her kind of thing.
Absolutely, man. Great movie, by the way. I think it's very tough to follow that film, but they did a great job with it.
I thought the movie, I was saying this on I was going to ask you guys this review later, but we'll do it now real quick. I thought it was great until they started talking about the maxi golf. Once they got into the golf part, I started losing a little interest, but everything leading up to that was awesome.
They nailed it, right? All the stuff leading up to it, all the cameos, all the folks coming out. I mean, they really slammed it. Yep. I think, what did they say? There's like 60 some cameos in there between the pro athletes and people from prior stars from the prior edition.
A lot of Easter eggs too. A lot of shout outs and tributes to people. It was he did a good job with it. I feel like I got to watch it again because I know I missed some stuff.
Same thing. I've only seen it once. I'm going to watch it again.
It's good. It's a good one. So let's talk about what kind of flavors do you guys have?
Yeah, we got best flavors, man. We got mango, pineapple, tropical citrus, and blueberry lemon. They're all really phenomenal flavors, really flavors that are approachable to the consumer. That's really important because just like you're saying, man, like a lot of this stuff is just about curiosity. We're really in the infancy of everything. Even though some people smoke, for a long time. Some people have done gummies for a long time. Some people have been curious for a long time. A lot of people are just getting curious now.
Yeah.
And so that's where we are.
I think the drinks are like, and they're enjoyable too. It's like a guide for the golfers. So I had a couple of one of our companies, or not companies, but grabbed a couple of the drinks from the dispensary for the course this weekend. Had them on ice. Threw one to my buddy Bob. He's sitting there. He goes, dude. He goes, and it's a different. So a lot of people don't understand. It's a different buzz. Did I see something about you guys have the nano infused ones too?
Yep, totally.
Okay, so for people who don't know, nano infused means it's water soluble. I just learned this the other day. That's why I'm going to talk about it. Water soluble, and it activates a little bit quicker. It doesn't last as long.
Quicker. That's a great thing though. That way you're not wondering if it's going to work or thinking that it already is working, but you're not feeling anything.
And you're drinking 4 more, and then boom,
that's right.
On your ass.
That's exactly right.
So I think that's a good way to go about it. And like for the golf course, it's going to be refreshing. Like you're going to be, instead of drinking that White Claw 5 and you can't stand, by the end of the round, and you're trying to line up a putt. Like we play for a couple bucks on Sunday, so you want to be able to line up that putt at the end of the day. With too many White Claws or seltzers or high noons, whatever, you're not going to be able to do that.
That's right.
2-3 of those flower powers there, you're going to feel pretty good.
Oh, you'll still be in the moment. We'll be focusing on that ball, getting it to sink in. Yeah,
that's right.
No, it's actually an interesting experiment. We need to go to the golf course again. We haven't golfed in years. Probably haven't golfed in a decade, but I am very interested in exactly what you're saying. So it's like, how does this beverage translate? I think a lot of golf obviously is between the ears, right? You're overthinking, kind of, am I lined up right? Did I check this? I checked the 15 things I wanted to check before I actually swing and miss the ball. Going back to playing golf, drinking a bunch of drinks out there, there always seemed to be a level where it's like, okay, you've gotten to the right level where you've had enough that you relax a little bit. You stop thinking about every part of your swing and you actually play some decent golf.
Yep.
You can very quickly push the pedal a little too hard, and you're also very bad at golf quickly again. And so I'm interested with this beverage. It's like, you go out, hit this, say you're on first tee, or you buy a third tee, kind of relax into the round a little bit and actually playing better golf because you're a little looser. So interesting experiment. When we actually get more than like 2 minutes off, we're going to go to the golf course.
So I feel like too. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, I think interestingly, pro sports label cannabis products as PEDs, as a performance enhancing drug. I think it's been like that historically. Nothing to do with the new movement or anything, but just historically, I think that is how it was categorized.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But I also think too, like with a drink, for example, opposed to even maybe like it's smoking it, it's more of a body high. So like a drink is going to give you more of that. In my experience, just talking from my experience, you get that more of that mellow, that laid back feeling. So like something like that, I think really does correlate to golf as well, because that's what you're looking for on that golf course. You want to be relaxed when you're lining up that birdie putt or that par putt, or or even that triple bogey, trying to keep that 8 off the card, like something to that extent. Like those are the type of things you want to just be relaxed. Where like I got drunk on the golf course one time in the 7 years I've been playing golf. And it was I was on the 15th hole, and I was like, this isn't even fun anymore, because I want them too competitive to like not take it somewhat serious. So like I'm like, I can't even line up a putt right now, and I don't really drink anyway. So like when I'm drinking, I'm drunk kind of thing. And I was like, this is bad. Like, get me off of this course. I got to get out of here. Like I pretty much just like I Happy Gilmore'd it for a couple holes after that. I was just swinging like an idiot, and it wasn't enjoyable. But I can go out, smoke a couple joints, pop a couple edibles, and find my level. That's the thing. Once you go over your level, you're kind of losing it if you're looking to play competitive or serious. But once you find that comfort zone with cannabis, I think it's really correlates to golf. I truly do. And that's why I started the podcast.
No, absolutely.
Oh, that's what's up.
And I think that's what, been saying is kind of like, with these nano emulsions where your uptake is a little bit faster, it does allow you to learn those limits a little bit easier, I think, right? It's not like somebody just had you rip one off the bong. It's like, okay, I got a 2.5 or a 5 or a 10 or whatever. Well, some people try part of it, right? You're going to know, you're going to feel something within probably 15 or 20 minutes, and then kind of see what you like from there, right? But, we can't know limits without testing limits to some degree. But this is nice because you can kind of building block inch your way into it. It's not just like, oh shit, now I'm in an experience that I can't necessarily get out of, and I don't know how to get out of it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So
So for your consumers, what are you guys looking to target? Is it more for like a recreational thing, a wellness and focus, or looking to kind of hit both of those markets?
Yeah, I say all the above, really.
Yeah.
What's interesting? I think what we're really aiming at is to make sure that we have a product that's legal and fun all at the same time. Because I think while this product is so new, it's got all the glitz, all the glamour. It's got the giggles. It's got the focus. It's got everything. We do need some regulation, and I think once we do get that regulation, we'll actually see this product mainstream to its full extent through grocery store chains. That's really where we're aiming, and I think where the grand prize is for everybody is once we do find this product in grocery stores, that's when consumers can access it the easiest, they can access it the best. Once we have regulation, then the consumer can feel good about what they're buying and knowing that, man, this is something that I can be curious about, can try and do it again, because it is going to be like lots and lots of people have great experiences with it. And so that's really how we want to play it is we want to see this product get to everybody, and in that fashion, everybody will have the best time. It is in 10 milligrams, 5 milligrams, 2.5 milligrams. Everybody just really needs to start where they are. That's really, it's important. I think if you're at 10 milligrams where you only serve 50 milligrams, some people can't try the product.
Right.
But if you're at 2.5, then it really doesn't matter what age you are. I mean, I could even see somebody in their mid 20s who's super athletic starting with 2.5 milligrams.
Absolutely.
Not just for a middle aged or old person. Like really, actually, a great place to be. I think a 10 milligram, man, 2, 3, 4, 10 milligrams, you're gonna be feeling really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah,
really smart to start out slow. Have products that you can put a lot of different places. We want everybody to be able to try it, whether in the grocery stores, vape shops, really everywhere. So
Where are you guys currently besides online? Like, do you have it in like vape shops, smoke shops, that kind of? Is that kind of the market you're in right now?
yep. No, absolutely. So we're in vape shops. We don't have obviously like legal cannabis shops in terms of marijuana, but we obviously have tons of THC shops, cannabis shops here. So we're in those formats. We're also at bars, we're at restaurants. Grocery stores are just piloting in our market. Chain accounts like Total Wine are very receptive to it. Again, this is another metric. For years, your top two items, type two products, top two products at Total Wine were Cabernet, Sauvignon, and Chardonnay. The
Mm-hmm.
number one product sold at Total Wine now in our state is THC. And
That's
they have
crazy.
dedicated a 30 to 40 foot shelf line, top to, floor to top, nothing but THC. So,
Wow.
that kind of tells you where the market's going, right? But yeah, chain accounts are starting to come online. And to Ben's point, I think a lot of that's really geared around regulation, which we're excited about. Some people talk to investors, anybody else, are like, man, what are you going to do? What about regulation? What about regulation? It's like, well, we operate in like the most highly regulated thing other than like pharmaceuticals that you could be in. So
Yeah.
we're fine with regulation. We're fine with following the rules. We're fine with permitting. We're fine with not targeting children. These are all positive things. And if we have regulations that support those types of initiatives, it's going to keep these products out of children's hands, right? It's going to put this product where it should be. It's going to get rid of bad performers, bad actors who aren't, paying attention to the product the way it should be. Yes, it should be a fun product. Alcohol can be a fun product as well. At the end of the day, these are ingestible products that are going in people's bodies. There is an absolute due care and responsibility that you have as a producer to make sure they're the best products they can be and they're safe. So we're fine with regulation. We're actually excited about it because it opens up the market.
Nice. Yeah, I think, dude, I really hope we can figure out a way to get you guys up here in the Northeast, especially here in the New York market, because I think the drinks are really something that's gonna take off. I think, like, especially they're working on it now to get like lounges, like smoke lounges, and like where they can actually, because you at a bar in New York right now you can't serve THC. It has to.
Okay.
It can only the OCM, Office of Cannabis Management, you can only purchase it out of this dispensary. There is smoke shops that do the Delta 9 and the Delta 8 and all the other style drinks. So with that being said, like, it's really strict, but if they open up the I guess you call them like lounges, I think that's where you'll start to see a lot more of the drinks being implemented into what we can do. But it's just got to get past everything, like you said, regulations of the state. They're holding it back where they could be making so much more. They want all the money. It's all about money.
Yeah.
Open these things up, and you're gonna get the money. You can see it now.
100%.
So much money. You can see the influx now. I mean, Colorado really opened up the doors for everybody, opened up everybody's eyes once they went legal, recreational, and the school. What they make like $1 billion in the first 3 months or something ridiculous.
Unreal, right? And you guys, I mean, you also do you do liquor stores and grocery stores, like off-premise stuff you can do up there, right?
Yep. But
Yeah.
so we have liquor stores. So like a High Noons, for example, we can't sell them at a grocery store. They can only be sold in a liquor store because they have vodka in them.
Okay.
Like stuff like regulations like that. But yeah, they have on-premise distilleries and stuff can do all their own thing. And
No doubt. Yeah, no, we were up visiting some friends, actually for the Beyonce concert up in Bronxville. We were visiting some friends a couple of months ago. So we went over to the Stu Leonard's and I saw they had like THC beverages in the market there. So saw a couple different brands we were familiar with, picked some up. But I thought it was great. And they were actually sampling in store, right?
Oh,
so
nice.
Right now, again, we're just starting to open up and bring into chain accounts, and even the ones like Total Wine that are pretty open. We cannot sample dosed product. We can only sample no dose product. It'd be like the equivalent of saying, "Hey, we're going to go sample Chardonnay today," but it's non-alcoholic Chardonnay.
Right.
So it's kind of what they're doing. I don't know if that'll change. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, no big deal. We're actually working on no dose gummies so that people can come in and still like try that stuff as like a 1-to-1 flavor profile for the beverages too. But yeah, no, excited to see the stuff that comes on the market up there.
Hey, and those on-premise lounges, that really is the next thing that's going to happen. I think that you'll see some tap rooms just fully transition that were in the alcohol business and then kind of fully transition into an on-premise consumption lounge, or at least partially. Me and John are even thinking about doing that at one of our stores. So it's a really interesting thing to do. I think insurance needs to catch up with that too, but that's a lot of that regulation. I think once we get regulation, we can really let people access the product even more and in really fun ways. And I think it'll be really, really cool for people to be able to go to a place and have a beverage on premise or even smoke on premise and hang out for a little bit. A little bit more European style to it. But we're good at judging customers and how they're doing, what's their sobriety level. That's what bartenders do every day, all day long.
Right.
Yeah.
So we do have practice in this. And so that's going to actually be really, really cool because tap rooms allow people to sample products more so than anything. Before you go buy a case of something, you can have 16 ounces of something or 12 ounces of it at a tap room. So it's really quite exciting. So I would just follow that all over the country, really, and to see where it goes.
I think it's going to be pretty cool. So I always say this too. I always say cannabis is one thing that brings cannabis, music, and golf are three things that bring people from all different walks of life together. You can go to the golf course. You could be with one of your buddies, but then you get paired up with two random people. They could be from who knows, you know what I mean? It could be anybody. Same thing. You could be smoking, also you in a dispensary, another dude, like whoever and their mother could walk in there. It's music. Everybody just vibes to this. Everybody could like different music, same music, doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Like those are three things that are really like that. And like that's what like these lounges could open up some like networking things or just cool events. Like think about some of the events you could put on for smoke lounges, having live music, like just those kind of things, like comedy shows during like at a lounge, like all types of things, man, all types of things. So I hope eventually it really does pop off here.
Yeah, the first lounge formats like consumption on premise that I had experienced were out in Las Vegas. So one Planet 13 has, their giant location out there, and that actually does have like a little cannabis speakeasy on premise lounge where they do, mocktails and then kind of dose them, but you can also smoke and variety of other consumption options there. And then on the New Woo, that's actually on the reservation. I think it's Wallapai maybe, but it's one of the Indian reservation lands out there. And so they were allowed to put a cannabis lounge in. That was actually the first place that had it out in Nevada. So pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully they start popping up everywhere. Now you just mentioned something about edibles. Do you guys plan to explore a little bit more into the cannabis market?
Absolutely. Yep.
Nice.
So we've already designed, a couple different, basically mirroring our beverage flavors, gummies that kind of go along with that. Again, starting with 10 milligram, but we'll probably offer some different versions of that. And then we're also doing some pre-rolls. And then one of the beverages we're most excited about is really more of a take in your pocket, on the go, kind of comparable to the old Mio or, Crystal Light flavor packets or something.
Yep.
You pump right in a water bottle, but
Yep.
you can actually do this and it's fully dosed, ready to go in any beverage. So if you hate our beverages, but you love Coca-Cola and they're not going to make THC, make your Coca-Cola THC.
Yep.
So really looking for alternative ways to help mainstream the product.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, because those are becoming very popular. I had a guest on recently who she makes her own like that, and she kind of does her own thing and can make them any milligrams she wants, and you can go to outer space quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but on a golf course, I prefer to keep it to like 10, 20, and like I said, just kind of find that balance. You got to find that balance. I had a buddy who was out in California years ago, and he came home. We had a guys' weekend. And he came home. We rented a house on a lake, and he goes, "Raj, I got this drink. I want you to try some." I'm like, "All right." So he passed out a shot glass. I'm like, "All right." It's a lemonade, like a Gold Peak lemonade bottle. I thought the thing said like 250 milligrams, like on the whole bottle. It was 2,500 milligrams in this bottle.
Damn.
Yeah, he poured me like half a shot, right? So I'm like, "All right, boom," because I thought it was 250. I'm like, "Joe, all right." He goes, just wait, buddy. And same thing, like a half hour, I was like, bro, what? I felt like I was cooked. Like I just ripped a 6-foot bong. I was like, wow.
Yeah, was that one of the days you were golfing for money?
I wasn't even golfing at that point. I didn't even play golf.
Like, Rod, try this out. Hey, don't miss that putt.
Nope. I don't sleep. I was always that guy who would never fall asleep at parties and stuff like that. Like I would never, so I didn't want to get like marker drawn on me and all this.
Sure. This has happened. This has happened with people in this.
I've been that guy.
Oh. Yeah. I was passed out. I was passed out in the living room with all my buddies. We were watching something and I was like 2:00 in the afternoon. We're cooking like this big barbecue thing. We're having like playing horseshoes, all this. They're just walking past me all day. I'm just sleeping, passed out 4 hours straight. Didn't even move, they said. They're like, Raj, we had to check on you a couple times to make sure you were breathing, dude. Like, because I don't do that. And they're like, Joe, what the hell did you give him? But everybody knows Joe. So they just like, buddy, it was just some lemonade. Yeah,
I just gave him a shot of lemonade. I don't know what's
2,500 milligrams. Man, that was the most I've ever. And that was the first time, like, I've done a couple gummies at that point, but like, taking it like by a drink, and I was like, all right, I'll try it. Boom, and I was knocked me out. But after that, he sent me a case, and I knew how to balance it out. It was pretty good.
Absolutely, learn the limits, right?
Yeah,
learn when to
sipping it.
Hey, look, me and John, we got to try something like that. That's wild.
No, 100%, dude. 100%.
It was nuts. It was nuts. I don't even. He was out in Cali or Arizona at the time. And I was like, dude, when you get home, just send the case out. I don't care what it costs, send it out. And I was giving it to all my buddies. I'm like, guys, tread lightly. And some were like, dude, I took a full shot. I was like hallucinating. I'm like, I bet you were.
Hey, the last time one of us on the call was drawn on, the golf cart was involved. We were at a bachelor party, and we were not even golfing, but we got our own golf cart. Which was
I was about to say, dude, the last time we went golfing, dude, we were drinking and had the best time on the golf course, not playing golf.
Stop the cart lady. I think we literally drank her entire bottle of Grey Goose before she left our site.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
But hey,
it makes for a good time,
man. We didn't have to stay in the zone, right? We didn't have to make a putt.
Yeah.
Hey, and we could just be like, guys, hey, nobody's behind us. You care if we hit a ball, we like hop in and do whatever we're doing. But yeah, the last time we golfed, that's what happened.
Man, we got to get I got to get down there. You guys come up here. I'm hoping to do a tournament. I got to figure it out. It's just so hard because of one, cannabis just becoming legal and people getting comfortable with it. And two, my timing now. I thought I had a course. I thought I had I need a dispensary to sponsor it to be able to do it the way I want because of the regulations and stuff like that.
Sure.
But then I just found out that a guy that owns a dispensary also owns a golf course, not too far away. So through my networking, I'm finding some things out here. So hopefully I can either maybe do something for like October or try to do something for early next year and give myself enough time to do it the way I want to do it and do it the right way. But I want to have like do a tournament, have a bunch of different vendors and stuff like that, set up at different holes, and then at the end I want to have like everybody goes back and grab dinner or whatever. But I want to do like a stand-up comedy show, so I want to be able to have a couple comedians come in and do a little something different. While everybody's eating, you sit down, you do the comedy show. Everybody gets their little raffle. Everybody find out who their raffle prizes is, and then bring out like the main person of the comedy. Have a couple openers and boom, boom, boom. So I got I got connections in the comedy world, so I want to use them.
Oh yeah, dude.
You can count us in, man.
All right, dope, man. I appreciate that. I'd love for you guys to come up and
come have some fun. I can't guarantee Ben or I will be good at golf, but we can sponsor a hole
at any
cannabis.
Good at
absolutely. That's perfect. That's
I know
perfect.
we're good at that.
And the thing is, man, it's not even like me and my buddy Fairway Mike. I play with this 70-year-old guy. Sometimes we get paired up with like a random. He's like, guys, I haven't played in a while, blah, blah, blah. But like, buddy, you out here to have fun? Or you're out here to be Tiger Woods? If you're out here to be Tiger Woods, go ahead. We'll play behind you. But if you're out here to have fun, let's go. Hop on. Here we go. And
that's
by the first, I'm at the second tee box. I spark up a joint, and they usually look at me, and I can tell by the look on their face, it's either going to be a fun day for them, or they're going to be like, "Oh man, this fucking kid," But I don't give a shit either way. I'm still doing what I'm going to do.
After you post the best round, he'll be like, "Damn, maybe I should have smoked on 3 too."
Right? I should have. I had my best round on Sunday. I shot a 78.
Hell yeah! That's awesome.
I was on a dip, a gummy. I had a infused toothpick. Shout out Milf Infused. We had a good round.
Damn, that's awesome, man. That's a great round.
It was pretty cool.
Fun.
My buddy Bob goes, dude, I'm getting stoned off a toothpick right now. It's 2025. If we're getting stoned off of toothpicks now, huh? I'm like, I guess so, bro. But I'm playing great, so let's keep doing it.
You're like, imagine how far the world could go from here.
Mm-hmm.
It's in everything.
Literally. So I like to wrap up with 3 questions. I'll keep it in the cannabis world for us here. If you guys were stranded on an island, what would be the one strand of cannabis you would bring with you?
Stranded on an island, I got to go with the beverage with the nano emulsion because I'm stuck on an island. So maybe that's nailing it in, but I think that's like a good call. If I'm on a desert island, I want to have some beverages, man.
You're gonna have a beverage. I like it. Like it.
Damn. What a question, man. What a question, man. Cherry pie, maybe cherry pie. I like a cherry pie.
Okay.
Cherry pie.
We had a good strain. One company had a good strain of cherry pie up here not too long ago. Yeah, I'm a sour diesel guy.
But if I'm on an island and I have any strain, then I think I'll be all right.
Yeah. Sour diesel's mine. The New York City sour diesel, the old school sour. I grew up on it, so that was my. I can't get it anymore, so the nostalgia of it. But that would be mine for sure.
Yo, didn't you like the Northern Lights or did Kara like that strain?
Yeah, man, and she likes the Jack Herrera. That's like her favorite. But man, they got so many new awesome strains out now. It's like hard not to say something like Runts or a Runts hybrid of some sort. Mm-hmm. But man, I mean, that's an industry that I don't know. I just love watching because they're always coming out with new, really amazing stuff. I mean, those guys are awesome. I mean, that's something in and of itself.
That's a skill, man. That's a straight up skill. Yep.
Yeah, but smarter, I'd say like take something you could splice into some different strains while you're on the island, but we're not that smart. So that's why I got to take the beverage starting in the can, buddy.
We try to do that. We try to do that. We got nothing else to smoke.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Say you wanted to throw 3 people in a session with you. Who would they be?
Oh shoot!
I'll give you mine to give you guys a second to think about it. I would go Joe Rogan because I'd like to ask him some questions on what he thought about some of the guests he's had on in the past. My number 2 guy would be Method Man. How High was one of my favorite movies of all time. And then Jason Williams, the basketball player, White Chocolate, used to play for the Sacramento Kings and the Miami Heat. He was my guy. He was my favorite player. We had a very similar style of play. Like I got benched for throwing an alley-oop off the backboard in a game against the number 1 ranked team in the state. We were down 10. I threw the lob off. I had a steal at half court. If I went up for the layup, my shot was going to the rafters. So I seen it coming. I left it high off the glass. My homie dunked it. Next at the ball, my coach sits my ass down. I go, what the fuck, man? He goes, that's not the time or the place for that pass. I'm like, well, I had no other option, man. I don't know what to tell you. My assistant coach comes over. He goes, that's the best pass I've ever seen. So You can look at it either way. The guy just didn't like me. It is what it is. But Jay Will was my guy with the no look pass, the elbow pass.
Yes.
He was my guy. But those are my three. Bill Murray would be my alternate.
Player.
So, yep. Who do you got?
It's a solid roster there. I think I go
Yeah, I
Marshawn
know I'll be
Lynch.
hitting John Daly regardless. I get John Daly. In
Oh shit, dude, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I'll probably
be in John Daly in there.
So I got
feel like he has the
Marshawn.
stories.
Maybe I'll bring some Bill Clinton in.
Okay, Marshawn Lynch, Bill Clinton, smoking some cigars out there.
That's right.
And
maybe John Mayer. So I'll take music, athlete, and politician.
Politics. There you go. A little bit of everything.
It's gonna be
imagine Marshawn Lynch playing in a group with Bill Clinton, the conversation he would have with him.
Right?
Yo, man, why'd you leave? What happened with Monica, man? I can see him right now.
Straight to the point, right? Straight to the point. We've seen him drive the golf cart before, so we know he's going to be driving wild out there.
Wild, yeah. Remember that? He stole it right out to the middle of the field.
He stole it in Michigan.
Shit. He was wild. Who was your other couple, Ben?
Man, I tell you what, I know Arnold Palmer's not here anymore, but he's Wake Forest alumni. I love to rip one with him, hear his stories, keeping it in the golf world. And, man, I guess just like a hero, I'd love to see what Woods has got, because I know that dude. I know he's not the family man that he always portrayed he was. So I bet he's dipped in. I bet he's had a smoke or two.
Oh,
maybe a beverage.
Oh, that's absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good group right there. You're a Wake Forest alum or a fan?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Me and Clowney, Demon Deacons.
Nice. So my favorite Wake Forest guy is Jeff Teague, man.
No kidding.
Oh, dude, yeah, hell of a player.
He was nasty. He was awesome. He's a funny dude now. If you ever listen to him on like podcast clips or like on YouTube, he's got he's the best storyteller. He's so funny. He should do comedy. He's that funny. Jeff Teague. Awesome. Yeah, he was a good hooper.
Check some of that out.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we were there in some pretty good years. So Ben and I were in freshman hall together. We were 2001 to 2005, and I say next year I got my master's. Ben went to go play baseball, but yeah, great times at Wake. That's where the friendship started.
I'm a big Miami Hurricanes fan, so we've got some ACC battles.
Hell yeah!
Unfortunately, we're starting to come back after last season, but I'm 41, so when I was growing up, Miami was really good, and then the past 20 years, it's been
y'all were like national
very
champion,
depressing.
national champion, all the coolest players, all the coolest jerseys,
everybody drafted, all the best players. Ed Reed, Santana Moss, Clinton Portis. I'm like, man, this is.
You guys were paying players before it was cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's how you get the best squad, man. That's how you get the best
since '82.
Yep.
That's right. NIL since '82.
I'll take it.
The only NIL money older than that's SMU.
Yeah, they got shut down for that. I mean,
that's right.
Everybody's been doing it. That's like why I think too, like Nick Saban and guys like him and Urban Meyer and all these long-term guys are getting out now because they know they can't equal everybody's dropping that duffel bag off now. So it's an even playing field, and it's not just them anymore. So it's an even field. Not going to spend the time to actually go recruit.
On our alternate roster, Michael Jordan for our alternate roster.
That's a good one. Yeah,
for sure.
Hopefully, we can beat on the Viking. Right, he got the new Viking boat, so he's got to be on the rotation.
Man, that dude is crushing it. So he's crushing it. Did you ever see the documentary of Magic? If Magic Johnson, if he signed to Nike, he was going to own like 2% of the company. And Michael Jordan would have made him like $37 billion at this point or something wild like that.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
No, it's absolutely insane, right? Roger Federer must have seen
shoe, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jordan shoes. He's selling the shoes that he made 40 years ago for $400 now. He's doing great.
Yeah, it drops on Nike. You got to have a special app to get them. And they're super hot, man. The guy's got the best looking designs there is. I mean,
absolutely. Mm-hmm. And he still pulls out as like one of the most popular athletes when they do like more modern polls. And my man hadn't played in like 20 years. So your longevity of that, where you're still relevant to a generation who has their decades behind you, if you're doing this in younger kids. I mean, that's just unreal star power.
It's crazy.
Bro, I hope our drinks are still relevant in 20 years.
Hey, that's the hope, right? That's the hope.
I hope we're still relevant in 20.
That's funny. That's
right.
kind of a good segue because my next question, I was going to kind of relate this to golf and cannabis. Do you guys see cannabis beverages becoming more common than like having a beer on the golf course? Just as common as having a beer on the golf course in the future? We'll wrap up with this one.
Absolutely. I think they
I'll say
absolutely will.
100. 100. Yeah. Hey, the young people are going to lead the way, and they're already talking with their pocketbooks. They're talking loudly. They want something else. They want that refreshing drink, the low calorie. They don't want the hangover. The hangover's a really crucial piece.
Yep.
They want to
Absolutely.
be able to get up and play golf again the next morning. They want to be able to go blaze that trail the next morning, whether it's like going to the family event or going to hike a mountain they've never been to before. So it's been they're going to lead the way. They're going to start deciding what's trending, what's not. I put all my money on the young people, and let's go cannabis.
And also this with like YouTube golf and everything else. There's just a lot of young kids who were getting into the game of golf. Like I got paired up the other day, speaking of kids, with two kids who play for the local high school team. These kids were nasty. One kid shot 3 under on 18.
Damn.
He's 13 years old. Yeah, impressive. So like eventually, like when him and all his friends get older, they're not going to be out there drinking Miller Lights and Coors Lights, Coronas. They're going to be probably having a flower drink or some type of cannabis beverage drink.
Sure.
That's because that's what they're doing now.
Well, I mean, I think even look at the body of golfers and kind of the training and focus on their health that really started, I would say, with Tiger Woods. It kind of bled in to look at like the young generation of guys now. I mean,
Bryson,
you compare that to what golfers look like in the 60s or 50s or whatever, where it's like, hey, you know, I happen to be
John
pretty
Daly.
good at golf. I might do enough. Yeah, exactly. John Daly approach, right? He's like, hey, I'm pretty damn good at golf, but I actually have this whole other life. And hey, we're done the round. Let's get a couple drinks, get a nice steak dinner, and maybe we'll play again tomorrow.
Yep. That's crazy.
Hey, and then keep your eye out too for energy drinks. I think that's really kind of one that's really, it obviously is huge now. $1 billion brands, like one comes on the market, it can really change things up. But watch for those in caffeine alternatives.
Mhm.
Just kind of like cannabis may be an alcohol alternative. I think you'll start seeing other things, whether it's a mushroom base, which
Like
is
Magic
definitely already
Mind
out
kind
there
of thing
now.
or something like that.
Yeah, totally. Lotus, guarana. There's
Cordyceps.
other things that people are starting to experiment with, and they're getting some traction. And I don't know if it is healthier or not, but it is perceived as different, and so that can be that can give people some good legs.
Yep.
Well, and I think when they look up like pretty natural ingredients, that plays a lot into like a clean energy, right? So they're thinking about like, yeah, I need energy, I need to be focused, I need to stay awake, but I don't want to get it with this crash mechanism built into it of like, man, I just had like 16 cups of coffee today, or Red Bulls or other kind of traditional energy drinks. So we think that's a huge one.
I think you guys are already 10 steps ahead of the game of where it's really going. I'll be curious to see how it transforms in the golf side of things over the next couple of years as well. If I start to see more, and it's a nice way to catch the buzz and be, you're kind of concealing it a little bit, not advertising. Like where I was playing with those young kids, I hit my vape a couple of times, but I wasn't smoking a joint. I'm not doing that around a couple of high school kids. You know what I mean? It's just you're respecting the kids, you're respecting the course, everything else. So like if I had a drink there, I could have been sitting there pounding a couple flower drinks and flower beverages, and you know what I mean? And no one would have known any different about it. So concealing it in that kind of way and stuff like that too. And or if you're going out to a party, everybody's drinking their White Claws. I don't like to drink, for example. Well, put my drink in a THC infused drink in a koozie, and off I go. No different. I like it, boys. Yep. Why don't you go? You guys, once again, I really truly appreciate your time. Why don't you let the listeners know where they can find you and get their hands on some of your drinks?
So online, then go hit us at flowersbev.com. You can get full line of products there, buy 4-packs, buy cases. We will be doing a subscription service. You want to become a club member, that's coming online as well. If you happen to be in North Carolina, South Carolina areas, check out, your Total Wines, check out a lot of your vape shops. I can't say everyone because we've got thousands of them. Check out some of your chain accounts will be coming online next year as well. So, yep.
Awesome. And then what's your Instagram again?
Drink Flowers Bev.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Stick around here real quick before you head out. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the Pitch Putt and Puff, and we will catch you on Friday with a preview of the upcoming weekend. fuck, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Roll up the green, hit the links with RGB. Pitch, putt, and puff, it's our podcast scene. Talking Burt and Bogies, hole in one dream. Golf cart cruising, we're the illest team. Pitch, putt, and puff, light it up, hit the rough. Every swing's a story, we can't get enough. Hazards and hard times, we know it's tough, but we live for the game, fam, that's our stuff. Got my clubs in the trunk, blunt in the front. Tee off in the noon, cause we don't bunt. Discuss in the course, weed strains for lunch. Straight shooters on the greens, not a front.